Hey, hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be ranking the 10 most influential players of all time, looking at which NBA legend had the biggest cultural impact throughout the history of the game. Starting with a honorable mention to Manu Ginobili. El Manu was a creative and talented player that popularized the Euro step inside the NBA. He was also an important international figure that became the greatest Argentinian player ever. Other honorable mentions could go to old NBA legends like Bill Russell or Oscar Robertson, who fought against racism, notably helping the future of black people in the league, or even to guys like Elgin Baylor and Pete Maravich, who were the first players to do certain moves. With all that being said, let's start the top 10 with Jerry West. West is an underappreciated legend from the 60s and early 70s, whose silhouette literally inspired the creator of the NBA logo. And on top of being an elite player, West became a great manager, which is why he is an overall important basketball figure. Then we have Julius Erving, a basketball legend that inspired a lot of NBA players. Dr. J is recognized as both one of the greatest dunkers and finishers of all time. He was a basketball fashion icon in the 1970s, and he was the first player to really do a farewell tour. Next up, we got Vince Carter. Vinsanity is often viewed as the greatest dunker of all time, which means he's the best player ever at doing the most spectacular and most famous type of skill move in basketball. On top of that, Vince Carter really put Toronto on the map, meaning he helped the Raptors' integration into the league and popularized basketball in Canada.
Hertz gets it back to him, and Vince dunks it for 25,000! Welcome to the pantheon of the greatest scorers in NBA history.
At number 7, we have arguably the best combo guard ever, Allen Iverson. Iverson is considered by many as the greatest ball handler of all time, and he's probably the player of the 2000s that inspired the most fans outside of LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. But AI's influence and impact goes beyond his accomplishments on the court, as Iverson brought the hip-hop culture to the league, whether it was because of his golden chains, braids, tattoos, or baggy clothes. Following Iverson, we got Larry Bird. Bird is one of the greatest players to have ever stepped on an NBA court, and the reason I have him on this list is because him and Magic basically saved the NBA. In the 1970s, the league really struggled in terms of popularity, but Larry Bird's arrival changed everything. Because of both his on-court talents and the rivalry he created between his Celtics and Magic Johnson's Lakers, Bird strongly helped popularizing the league. Entering the top 5, we find Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe didn't revolutionize anything, or neither did he really change the game in any ways, but he remains one of the most skilled players of all time and one of the most iconic and famous athletes in the history of the sport. And throughout his amazing 20-year career, which includes 18 All-Star selections, a league MVP, and 5 championship rings, the Black Mamba inspired a lot of people and became many fans' favorite player. At number 4, we have the King Lebron James. Alongside Larry Bird, LeBron proved that his small forward could massively influence and impact the game itself, and while he does get a lot of hate, he remains the most popular basketball player in the world right now. On top of that, he has done many great things on and off the court throughout his career. And LeBron making the list shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, as some people even recognize him as the greatest basketball player of all time. As we are approaching near the end of the list, we find the best passer of all time and arguably the greatest point guard in NBA history, Magic Johnson. Magic is mainly here for the same reason as I included Larry Bird, but he ranks this high because he also kind of changed the game. With Magic, no need for complicated game systems, you just run as fast as possible in transition and he will get to the ball. And because of both his amazing court vision and very good ball handling skills, Magic will either find the right person or score himself in fast breaks. At number 2, we have Stephen Curry. Steph is a player that revolutionized the game, and he literally changed the way we play the sport of basketball, whether it's in the NBA or in the playground. Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, which means he's the best ever at doing what even non-basketball players know about, which is simply shooting to put the ball in the basket. Babyface showed to the world that a three-pointer could be a very efficient shot. Listen, Steph Curry is the reason teams shoot so often behind the arc now, and he's also the reason players shoot transition threes and deep shots all the time too.
Not moving for them. They've almost degraded into it. Curry at 5. Curry for the lead.
And finally, at number 1, we have Michael Jordan. MJ easily takes the spot because he's definitely the most known and famous athlete in NBA history. I mean, even your grandmother who has never touched a basketball has probably heard of Michael Jordan. Furthermore, he has an amazing legacy. On top of having great career accomplishments, notably going 6-0 in the finals, Jordan contributed to turn Nike into such a huge brand. And while Larry and Magic revitalized the league in the 80s, Jordan then popularized the NBA internationally. Well, that's it for today. Feel free to give your own top 10 in the comment section and make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell.